Ah, what a beautiful day in this relaxing magical forest world. I love living here. Hey Dweeb, would you help me out with something? Oh, hey, Rupert. Yeah, I could probably help. What do you need? I just need you to deliver this package to Stewie. Oh, you can't do it? His house is like right over there. It would literally take 20 seconds to go there. You could, nope, I'm just too busy right now. But I saw you walking around doing nothing for like the last 5 minutes. Yeah, well, I'm busy now. So go deliver this for me, okay? It needs to be done in 10 minutes. Super important. Don't let me down, dweeb. Sheesh, what am I, a delivery boy? Alright, let's get this done. Hey, Stewie, hello. Oh, hey, dweeb, what can I do for you? I have a package for you from Rupert. He wanted me to get this to you really quickly. Must be important. Okay, let's check this out. What? A rustic carpet? But I hate rustic stuff. Why would you do this to me, dweeb? But it wasn't. I didn't. It's from Rupert. I was having a great day and now it's ruined. I don't want to talk anymore. Well, that hardly felt fair. Hey, Rupert. Sorry to interrupt you. Doing nothing again. That's okay, dweeb. So, did Stewie love the carpet or what? No. He said he doesn't like rustic things and then he got all... What? He didn't like it? Aw, man, dweeb, how could you do this to me? I am so bummed out now. Thanks for nothing. Hey, dweeb, I just wanted to let you know that I'm still mad at you too. Okay, well, that's fair. I actually deserve that one. You know what I was thinking? Of course you don't. Don't act like you did. I was thinking that we could all use a lot more chill in our lives. The world is complicated. Everyone seems stressed and busy and wound up, and we would do well to find an escape. A place where we can forget about our troubles and exist alongside some good friends who don't judge us too harshly, who don't fill our thoughts with worries, who don't fill our hearts with hate, and who want nothing more than to see you every day and bask in your coolness. I'm speaking, of course, about the Dusty Game Society. I'll tell you more about the DGS at the end of the video, but first, we have a game to share. A game that is barely a game at all. A world of chill vibes, cute critters, simple problems, fishing, planting flowers, catching bugs, drinking coffee, and performing menial tasks for your thankless neighbors. In Animal Crossing: Wild World. My all-time most played handheld is the original Nintendo DS. I play lots of retro handhelds now, but my original DS was like my life for a good few years. I played the heck out of that thing, and one of the games that I played the most was Animal Crossing: Wild World. I was obsessed with that game. I would literally plan my life around checking in on villagers at certain times of the day and making sure that I didn't miss hangouts with my pretend animal friends. Just, in case there was some duck or whatever that desperately needed a watermelon shirt delivered across town. Animal Crossing: Wild World on the DS was my first Animal Crossing game, but the series actually started on the Nintendo 64 in Japan as Animal Forest. You can actually play a translated version of that one if you want to see the very first one. The GameCube version polished that up, and then Wild World crammed all that cozy magic into your pocket while adding online play, Brewster's Cafe, Celeste's Observatory, more customization, and lots of little features that made the town feel even more alive. After that, the series kept growing. City Folk added the city and more online features, New Leaf expanded customization and town building, and New Horizons basically turned the series into a full-blown island decorating simulator. But despite all the changes that the series went through, the core of Animal Crossing hasn't really changed, and that's why Wild World is still a lot of people's favorite. It hit this perfect sweet spot where the series had just enough stuff to feel alive and magical without becoming more than it needed to be. The overarching story of the game is stupid simple. You are a human on your way to a new town that is run by animals, and you're being driven there by a turtle. He asks you some questions that set your character and the name of the town and stuff, and then you're dumped off, and then you go to the town hall and you learn where your new house is, you visit your home, and then you're introduced to Tom Nook, the raccoon who runs the local store. He has lent you money for your home, and you need to pay it back by doing odd jobs. That's more or less the overarching story of the game. However, that's only like the bones of the story, the framework. The real stories are the friends we made along the way. And I'm not even joking. You'll meet Blathers, the museum curator, and learn about why he left the city to come to this quaint corner of the world. Brewster, who runs the coffee shop, is a pitch in a few words, but you'll learn about his backstory too. The mayor, Tortimer, a bit goofy and senile, but totally lovable. The town hall clerks, the lovely Pelly and the less lovely Phyllis, and the Abel sisters who run the clothing store. Mabel is the chatty one, but Sable is quiet. At first, when I played this game ages ago, I had no idea that if you kept talking to her day after day, eventually she'd start talking, and holy jeez, she's like the best character in the game. She opens up and tells you her whole story and becomes this quirky little cutie that is like the highlight of my daily visits. Your little neighbor goofballs that live in this town are going to be where the main stories happen. The interpersonal drama. Or the interspecies drama, I guess. You'll get to know these guys and their personalities, what they like and what they hate. They'll have little love triangles going on and arguments. The game sort of tries to simulate everyone having their own life, and you're just there as a small part of it. You might already be aware, but there is a thing that happens when you meet an Animal Crossing player in real life and express even a mild interest in the game. 100% of the time, they immediately pull out their system and they show you their town and neighbors like a proud parent forcing you to look at baby photos. So on that note, let's take a look at my town. My house is here near the beach and the river. Here I am just doing a little jog around town with my axe out. I like carrying the axe around so everyone knows that they shouldn't mess with me. First up is Lily. She's one of my favorites because she's a frog, and frogs are my favorite animal. She calls me D-Money. Today she asked how much I like myself. I couldn't decide, so I picked the middle option, and then she said that she should have expected that from me. Like what the heck is that supposed to mean? This is Whitney. I think she's a wolf. She's like fashionable and she keeps hinting that she wants a beaded shirt. I check the store every day. I'm trying my best here, Whitney. Pinky is a pink panda who started calling me D-Money too, which I think she got from Lily. They must have been talking about me. Here's Dizzy the elephant. He's new here. I don't know much about him, but I do know that he's obsessed with fossils. Poncho is a bear, and he asked me to deliver something to Roscoe, despite the fact that both of them were standing like 10 feet apart from each other 1 minute ago. Animal Crossing villagers hate spending any time doing anything themselves. Apollo is one of my favorites, a big grumpy bald eagle guy. But I walked into his house and all his stuff was packed because he decided to leave town. He said that all of his friends were somewhere else now. The game gave me the option to ask him to stay, but honestly, like, if your buddy says they're unhappy, are you really being a good friend by guilt-tripping them into staying? I decided no, so I let him go. Weirdly emotional moment for a game where I spend most of my time digging up dinosaur bones or whatever. Then I came across Lily again and she told me that I am her best friend in town and gave me her framed photo. I know it's dumb to feel genuinely touched by a pretend animal, but I'm fine with that. I'm fine with dumb. This was the highlight of my day. And then there's Truffles. I hate Truffles. She's this obnoxious pig with angry eyebrows and a mushroom haircut with too much makeup, and she calls me Snouty. Snouty, what kind of nickname is that? Her house looks terrible too. I've been trying to get her to move out for weeks, but she just keeps existing in my vicinity. Like that neighbor that you hate and you always peek out the window to check and make sure she's not on the street when you go for a walk so you don't run into her. That's Truffles. Stupid pig. I like going and tearing up her flowers. At one point, like a week ago, she was sick and kept begging for medicine, and I had plenty, but I didn't give her any. I was secretly hoping she'd die. Here's my house. I actually have enough money to upgrade this, but I kind of like the smaller, cozy vibe. Actually, I wish I could go back to the slightly smaller version. I've got a little fireplace area, a tech table in case I need to build a PC or whatever, and of course my cozy retro corner with a CRT TV and an arcade machine. I'm still hunting for the perfect wallpaper and flooring combo, but I'm pretty happy with how this is coming together. And before I log off, I always stop by my favorite spot in the game. Brewster's Cafe. Every time I play, I come in here for a virtual cup of coffee and take a minute just to exist without feeling like I have something more important I need to be doing. Kind of like a daily meditation or whatever. This time Brewster offered to put pigeon milk in my coffee. Couldn't turn that down. Apparently it was pretty good. Graphically, the DS version is probably the most primitive of all the options. It's got the lowest resolution textures, the simplest models, lots of corners needed to be cut to make it work on the DS, but for me, that only adds to the charm. This is one of the reasons that I love the DS. I love how good they made this game look within the confines of the DS hardware, focusing on the artistry rather than the rendering effects. And as a retro gamer, this feels a lot more cozy to me than the flashier versions. The most important part of the visuals and the audio isn't the technical aspects, but the mood that they create, the vibes. I boot the game, that plucky menu music comes on, I see one of my villagers meandering around, and my chill switch is instantly flipped. It feels like modern games are just constantly trying to overwhelm you. Daily quests, battle passes, kill a god with a flamethrower. Meanwhile, Animal Crossing's over there like, hey man, there's a fish in that stream over there if you feel like catching it. If not, no worries, you do you, buddy. But there's this kind of duality to games like this. If you need them in your life, they perfectly give you the escape you crave. But if you don't, if you need more excitement or challenge or firmer objectives, then Animal Crossing will probably do absolutely nothing for you. This game isn't for those times. It's for the other times. Because the thing about Animal Crossing is that there's barely any actual game here. No grand adventure, no final boss. It's more like a place, a tiny little world quietly existing beside your real life. And depending on where your head is at, that probably sounds either perfectly comforting or like psychological torture. And both reactions are correct. I think Animal Crossing works best when life is loud, stressful, busy, exhausting, because it asks almost nothing for you. You boot the game up, pull weeds, talk to a frog about sandwiches, dig up a fossil, and just exist for a little while. Which is maybe why I like it so much. Because I'm amazing at existing. That's like my best skill. But the Dusty Game Society isn't a one dweeb show, and we had a whole shaboozle of DGS members taking part this month, sharing stories and pictures, writing their reviews, lots of newcomers as well. Thank you so much to everyone who took part. I don't have time to highlight all the reviews, but I'll try to do them justice by summarizing the general themes and pulling out a few examples. Reading everyone's reviews and final thoughts, one thing that dawned on me is that Animal Crossing doesn't really succeed or fail based on whether the gameplay is good. It succeeds based on whether your life has room for it. And if you approach it like a traditional video game, I totally understand why some people bounced off it hard. The criticisms were incredibly consistent this month. The pacing is slow, the conversations drag on forever, the tasks are repetitive. KC2DPT gave the series multiple honest attempts and still came away completely unconvinced. And honestly, yeah, that's totally fair. But for a lot of people, those exact qualities became the appeal. The Shibushi had one of my favorite experiences this month because they spent most of the game wondering why anyone would simulate ordinary life in a video game when games could instead contain explosions and alien invasions. And then life got stressful, work got exhausting, and suddenly Animal Crossing transformed into the perfect little brain-off wind-down game at the end of the night. That feeling came up a lot throughout the month. Banth had a really touching experience with New Horizons, talking about how the game reminded them that it's okay to slow down a little and not feel guilty for relaxing. Wudani talked about playing Wild World during a difficult transitional period in life after leaving a long-time job. Instead of demanding huge emotional investment, the game just quietly existed beside them. Tiny routines, quick check-ins with villagers, little moments of calm. Crumlord is new to the DGS. Welcome, my friend. They compared Animal Crossing to watering real plants. Small, calming little routines that become strangely comforting during stressful periods of life. I assume. I've never been able to keep a plant alive in my life, so I'll take your word for it. A lot of members revisiting New Horizons talked about how inseparable it now feels from the pandemic years. Zensible called it their digital Prozac, which honestly feels incredibly accurate for how we all felt about games back then. And coming back to them now can bring up lots of stuff. For better or worse. A lot of people realize that Animal Crossing isn't really about like your world and the villagers. It's about the people around you while you're playing. Siblings, friends, spouses, visiting each other's towns, sharing stories. Some members found revisiting the games a little lonely and bittersweet. I think that's part of why this month felt special in the Dusty Game Society. For a little while, everyone kinda recreated that feeling together again. People shared screenshots and memories, poems, little stories. Some members got creative. Strad von Zarovich wrote a whole journal about how his village was turning into Barovia. Mama Coco and Lunar Hades and Replay wrote full reviews on their websites, which I will link below. And the DNG went completely overboard in the best way by creating a fake retro gaming magazine cover for their review. I love this so much. I want a subscription to Dweebtendo Power for my birthday. That's the magic of the DGS to me. Not just revisiting old games, but briefly recreating the feelings that those games gave us in the first place, and creating a whole new thing out of all this stuff. The game now, our memories, our creativity, old friends and new friends, all held together by duct tape and lots of dust. The Dusty Game Society is a perk that I offer to the patrons of TechDweeb. Each month I host a game for us to play together, which we do. We talk about it all month long in a special member chat room on my Discord server. It's low stress, low commitment, just play the game as much or as little as you can and share your thoughts. If you're interested in supporting my channel and the stuff that I do around here by becoming a patron and want to get in on some DGS goodness on the side, there's a link in the thingy below. But regardless of any of that, thank you so much for watching. From all of us at the DGS, stay dusty, my friend. Holy jeez, you found it. You just discovered a secret bonus mini DGS adventure. So I always announce our game on the 1st of the month, and the 1st of April is April 1st. So I thought for a laugh that I'd say we were playing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the NES. And some of the Dusty Dweebs actually played it and reviewed it, so you know what? We're doing it. Let's give Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde a bite-sized version of the DGS treatment. When I was a kid, I traded in a stack of games to get Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde on the NES for no reason other than that the box art looked awesome. And boy, did I get what I deserved for buying a game entirely based on the box art. Because Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is one of the most fascinatingly miserable video games ever created. And I say that with traumatized affection. You play as Dr. Jekyll, a British man, a doctor presumably, trying to slowly walk through town while every person on Earth attempts to ruin his day. Tiny children run into you, birds poo on you, dogs attack you, people drop bombs in front of you. It's like all my agoraphobic nightmares about what happens when I go outside come to life. The gameplay is incredible because you never fully understand what's happening. Every moment feels dangerous and confusing, just like real life. And then, when Dr. Jekyll gets too stressed out, he transforms into Mr. Hyde, turning the game into a horrifying nightmare action game where you launch psychic attacks at floating heads and murderous creatures from the depths of human suffering. Now, some lesser minds would say that this feels disconnected and terrible, but those people don't understand art. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde brilliantly captures the duality of man. One minute you are politely walking to church or whatever, and then the next minute you're a screaming goblin man firing soul blasts at flaming demon birds. We've all been there. The Dusty Dweebs also took a brave stroll through the cursed streets of London. Strad von Zarovich was the first to fall under the game's spell, describing it as admirable malice, and design choices so bold they refuse all apology. Of course, he played it the only way that anyone should, horizontally stretched across his ultra-wide monitor while chronicling his experiences like a Victorian scholar. Nelly-Nez responded with a scholarly defense of the game, praising its revolutionary stress systems and ludonarrative harmony, while justifying how birds pelting you with poop is actually sophisticated psychological design that the gaming world simply wasn't ready for back in 1988. Then Phalanax arrived with the revelation that Dr. Jekyll is actually just a complete loser. And Hyde is the real hero because he faces his fears head on while Jekyll spends the entire game emotionally collapsing because a bird pooped on him. And finally, Mama Coco brought it home with a straight up gothic love letter describing the game as a blistering masterpiece, capable of delivering pleasures akin to pumping molten gold into your rectum. Well said, buddy. Well said. The Dusty Game Society is healing nicely. Beautiful community. Perfectly stable people here. We're doing fine. Just fine. So there you go. 2 Dusty Game Society reviews in one video. We spoil you. You know that?